My name is Simeon Akinade, Adebisi. The topic, the relationship between cooperative governance, corporate governance, and financial performance in multipurpose cooperative society, Lagos, Nigeria. Introduction. Corporate governance has been the center of debate for a long time now, since the problem of principal-agent relationship has been established. The need to separate ownership and control of organizations brought with it a conflict of interest of the shareholders and the managers who are in charge of the organization activities. Researches have, however, been carried out to reduce, if not to resolve these conflicts. It is meant to describe the form of responsibilities of organization stakeholders and, most importantly, determine best code of practices that will ensure firm continuous existence and inform better company performance. In any organization, especially the cooperative society, the management committee is in position to monitor the activities of the trustees. AUDU 2014 opined that cooperatives stand as an alternative in the economy, formed with the motive of a group factor of achieving what is unachievable individually. Similarly, cooperative society around the world, and most especially in Africa, were brought into existence relying solely on voluntary relationship of people with the same ideology and goal on a one individual, one vote basis, with the main aim of serving their needs. Cooperative society have operated for a long period with little attention paid to its existence. It was also discovered that members have little knowledge of what it entails, such as its strengths and abilities. The government had also paid little services attention. The society have gone through thick and thin, especially developing countries. In Mutunga's opinion, he identified problem of governance in cooperative society to include the following among others: mismanagement of funds, dearth of transparency and accountability, corruption, lack of respect for the rule of law, as the system encourages inside trading, which hampers good corporate governance. This study, therefore, was carried out to investigate the relationship between corporate governance and corporate society performance. It also examined the quality of corporate governance practices on the financial performance of multipurpose cooperative society in Nigeria. Management committee member, audit committee members, and trustee members as board of directors were adopted as available to measure corporate governance, while the society's return on assets was used to measure financial performance. Literature review. As mentioned earlier, corporate society is a business organization registered with intention to further the mutual benefit of the owners. These people work together with intention of achieving as a group what they cannot attain individually. The purpose of their coming together is to provide greater benefit to the members, such as increasing individual income or enhancing members' way of living by making provisions for important services that will better their lives. Cooperative activities are governed and managed by elected committee members. These people are vested with the power to manage the resources of the shareholder, of which they are also part, and run the daily business transactions of the society. In the management of cooperatives, there has been an overlap of duties between the management committee and management staff. This reflects poor leadership and not adherence to good management practices. For cooperatives to be efficient and productive, they should apply good corporate governance practices framed on the pillars of accountability, efficiency and effectiveness, probity and integrity, responsibility and transparency, and open leadership. Let me quickly look at what is corporate governance. Corporate governance is viewed according to back in a huge 1987 as the relationship between the type of governance the organization practice and what the people's opinion is concerned the issue. Similarly, Matrix said, on the other hand, that viewed as a promise made to pay a considerable amount on investment and determination to run the organization fairly. According to Mayer, 1998, corporate governance is concerned with ways of bringing the interests of investors and managers into line and ensuring that firms are run for the benefit of the investors. I want to look at the firm performance. What does firm performance entail? Measuring firm performance can be said to be measuring the efficiency and effectiveness of an action. The value of any firm can be seen as the benefit coming from the firm's shares by the shareholders. Countless numbers of ways have been brought forward to measure financial performance. Among them are measure of performance as level of return on assets, return on equity, total income, profit margin, earning per share, among others. Recently, special attention has been dedicated to determining the corporate governance effectiveness through different measures of firm performance as mentioned. Corporate governance, according to Akinade, has an effect on firm performance in the sense that a good corporate governance system will result into more investment opportunities for the company, which serve as a pillar in the situation of illiquidity. In management, the significance of performance is clear through the many prescriptions provided for performance enhancement. Research dedicated to governance structure and relationship with financial performance was highly dependent on accounting basis indicators. I use trustee management committees as variable under this research. Let me first of all consider the trustee structure. There's a great literature suggesting that U.S. Board of Directors are ineffective. For example, Justice 1990 argues that Board of Directors are ineffective because board culture discourages conflicts. The Chief Executive determines the agenda and information given the board. There is little equity ownership by manager and non-manager on the typical board. Boards are too large, and the CEO and the board chairs is frequently the same person. Moreover, boards usually rely on compensation consultants hired by the Chief Executive Officer, and this may lead to compensation contracts that have been optimized not for the firm, but for the Chief Executive Officer. Management committee structure. Salami investigation show that ownership structure and existence of conflict of interest among shareholders operating within a poor governance system impacted on company profitability. This paper, using panel data and regression model, concluded that firms with low ownership concentration show low firm profitability. I also use supervisory audit committee as a variable under this audit. Study shows that directors and audit committee that are independent of management are expected to improve the organization's reported earnings and the system of reporting. This is so because they are not subjected to issues that affect their interests and thereby reduces the capacity to monitor activities. The knowledge and who are expected to work with other members in moving the society forward. The methodology of this study. The study is an exploratory research with investigation centered on a sampling of 2 selected multipurpose cooperative societies in Lagos State, Nigeria. This was carried out proxy trustee structures with ratio of seminar expenses to total expenses. Management committee structures with ratio of bookkeeper fee to the expenses. These are the method used. Quickly, let me show the analysis. The regression equation employ return on assets as independent variable by trustee structures, management committee structure, supervisory audit structure, legal fee and audit fee are independent variable. legal fee and adverse possibility fee are control variables. The results show that the structure of supervisory audit committee is significant in explaining the effect of corporate governance in terms of return on assets for pool regressions and random effects, while not significant for fixed effects. The random score further clarifies by indicating that about 73% of variables in return on assets is accounted for by these independent variables. The control variables, legal fee and adverse publicity fee, indicated that a percentage increase in legal fee has a positive or maintained increase in effect on return on assets. For return on equity, it is also the audit independence that is significant, but in comparison with return on assets shows an increase in supervisory audit committee, which will reduce return on equity by 1 or 2%, while both have a positive effect on return on assets. Summary and findings. From the analysis,
the time is up, Simon.
No significant effect on the financial performance. However, a recommendation is made that a radical improvement notice in the level of governance and financial ethics introduced by the various regulatory authorities should be maintained at all levels of stewardship in the organization. Thank you for listening.